Hello, my name is Dr. Shambles, and today we are going to be looking at some more gameplay on Red Purple Law. This time, last week, I made a budget list, somewhat of a budget list. I understand it's not full budget deck list because I was playing the queens, which are pretty expensive. It was just a budget list for me with the cards that I already had because I don't have the money to buy Mr.2. I'm still hoping that they will drop in price, and to be honest, I don't mind not playing full power Red Purple Law in a B01, but I would really enjoy to play him at full power in OP07. I've been playing him since forever, and I'm very sad that I'm probably sooner or later gonna have to drop him because he's becoming too expensive. And sorry if you hear the train, and I'm sorry, but like it's gonna be crushing for me if I go into locals and I'm gonna be playing against very competitive players. That's just how my locals are, and I know they're going to switch to Red Purple Law because it's the best deck, and it's gonna hurt me a lot seeing them play it at full power, and me, who's been playing him for so long, can't even play him at full power in what I believe it's a Red Purple Law Prime. But so here we are, just crafting and trying to find the best budget list. Don't worry, this is my budget list in some sort, but I will actually show you a more budget list, even more budget. There are still some staples that I believe you need to buy, but I think I found a pretty good balance. Before we get into it, and by the way, this is gonna be a very long explanation on deck profiles and the tech cards that you can buy, so stay with me here. By the time I'm recording this, I still haven't had time to record the gameplay, so we'll see how that goes after. But yeah, I'm just trying to find the time to record bits here and there. So first, this is the list I've been playing. I understand I made a list not long ago about me saying I found my perfect deck list. I still somewhat stand by that deck list, but someone came to my attention in the comments saying, oh, you're playing 20 bricks, which is pretty much cards with no counter. At first I wasn't actually understanding the comment for some reason, but then it clicked. Yes, I was playing 20 brick cards, but with the cycle I was not hurting that much, but I do admit there were some games that could brick really hard when it came to counters. So I decided to take the advice of that person, and I made changes here and there. Changes that are actually from the East. The East evolved a little bit more on OP07, and they were already going back on the 2 Zoro Rush, although I still like them, and they went back to 2 Zoro Juro. In case you follow this channel a good time now, you know I hate this card. Because of Sakazuki and Reiju, by the way, the Reiju leader, this card pretty much didn't have that much value unless you're playing against very specific matchups. But now, with the Sakazuki gone, I don't know, the meta suits perfectly to the Zoro Juro. And so in the East they're playing just 2 because you have the Bon Clay and Yain for your ramp, but they're playing just 2 just to have that extra card, and if not, is a 1k counter, which is not that bad. And I decided to go down 1 raise max for 1 Otama. Because I went to 4 Shirai's because there's matchups, for example Yamato, that I really wanted to see Shirai, but for some reason I never see it. It's really weird. It's always against the matchups I need to see him the most. But yeah, I never see him. So I decided to bump them 4. I do see him more, but still, again, for some reason against the matchups that I really want to see him, I don't. But yeah. So I decided to just take away 1 Ray Max. The Automata was here on the 4th Shiraya. So yeah, pretty much just to sum it up. Took 1 raise max to play another Shiraya, and then I took the Zoro Rushes for the 2 Zoro Juros. And this one is doing pretty fine, but this is not the budget list, it's not why we are here today. Just a final note, I do miss somewhat of having the 4th raise max, but this has 18 break cards, which is pretty standard in every single deck list I see in the East. Pretty much I have 17, 18, 19 break cards. So yeah, this is a good balance, I believe now. Thank you for the person who commented. I'm sorry that I'm not remembering your name, but I am feeling the changes now. But let's get to what we are here for, which is the budget list. So first of all, this is, I already told you, this is my budget deck list. I'm playing 4 Thomas and only 2 Sanjis, but if the Sanjis are affordable, I'll go the other way around. I just prefer having the blocker because I have the Gordon, Raise Max, and the Ace as the power depletion. But if he's very expensive, I'll maybe try to at the very least, buy 2 at the beginning, and I believe you should do 2, and then I'll just be playing 4 Otamas, which is still fine. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna tell you this right now and then. This Sanji is a staple now. It is what it is. The fact that he's a blocker and a 2k counter helps you get space into the deck. So he's really needed at least 2, very minimum 2. The next card there, it's a very expensive, it's Reiju, but you really need it. So I would say just invest in it. I'm sorry, it is what it is. There are some cards here that are still expensive, but if you want to play Red Purple Law even in budget, I'm saying right now you're still gonna have to spend some money to make the deck functional. So yeah, another card that could be considered expensive is the Kid, but I consider him a staple as well. So these 3 over here are staples. And then obviously the Kid and Killer, but right now they're not that expensive, but they're pretty much one of the most expensive here. Don't worry, Garden is not a staple. I'm gonna get around with that. But yeah, I'm running with this. The substitution for Mr.2 will be Zorojuro. So instead of playing 2, we are playing 4. And yeah, that's it. So it is what it is. It still works fine. Although I didn't record any games, I already tried this deck list and it did fine, to be honest. I'm very surprised by that. I thought it would hurt more, but still having that 1 clay would really help me. It just helps me going easier, ramping up easier and making more combos. So yeah, but this is the best we have. There was something more I wanted to say. Oh, and this is pretty slower, by the way, the Zorojuro, but this will not work in AB01. This only works in OP07. So if you're thinking to play Zorojuro in AB01, I'm just gonna tell you, don't do it. Just play the Beppo for now. The meta is still very fast for Zorojuro because of Sakazuki and some other decks. So yeah, but on OP07 it settles in. It's thankfully, again, Sakazuki is gone, so Zorojuro will have its place at 4. So now let's just adjust this a little bit more to be more budget for you guys. Although I have the queens and all, many of you may not have the queens. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take everything that I believe it's not needed to be staple. So queens, Gordons, and I believe the rest is pretty affordable. If not, I believe they are staples. Ein is going up in price. I don't know when you are watching this video, but I knew someone in locals that was not playing Ein, and he told me that he was too expensive for him. She is pretty much at the same price of Kid and Killer right now. I could verify it, but I really don't want to. Again, I don't have that much time, so I want to save my editing time. So yeah, I think you should invest in Ein. For the last time I saw, these 2 are pretty much at the same price, which I believe, in my opinion, as a college broke boy, is affordable. So just invest in it. And to take away Queen, you try Chopper. Now, this Chopper will be somewhat more expensive than Kid and Killer, but he will be much more cheaper than Gordon. Sorry, than Queen. So he's still going up on blockers, and he's somewhat replacing the Gordons that were over here. But to replace the copies of Gordon, what we'll do is play Fire Fist, which is very budget, and I believe it just went down in price. So 2 Fire Fist, it helps you a lot against the Bonnie, to be honest, and it helps you a lot against the Black Color as well. So it still is a good card. There are still some decks that take it at 2 or 1. But it's going down in popularity, but it is also going down in price, so it's a good tech card as budget. So just to clarify, Chopper is more expensive than Kid and Killer, but again, because it's on Queen, I believe you should invest in it. just to make this deck playable. And then we still have 2 slots, so we are just going to be playing 2 Beppos. So pretty much the 2 Zoro's our tech to ramp up a little bit more are going to be your 2 Beppos. That's it. I believe Beppo will still only have value when you drop him with your leader ability, so he's pretty much going to be a card that just ramps you 1. It's still good, you know, it's still enough, and it is what we can do with our budget. By the way, Ace is probably going up in price because he's becoming very popular in Red Purple Law. I'm gonna tell you why I believe you really need him, really need him. It's because of mirror matches. Among other things, but you will feel it much more in mirror matches. The card, when it gets dropped in a mirror match, is a very big problem and very hard to remove, taking away so many resources from the other Red Purple Law that sometimes is not even worth it. And against, for example, black color decks that take you by cost, is still a pretty high cost from black decks to having. They have to use at least 2 cards from hand just to remove it. And to blue, they can remove it more easily, but they are sacrificing a lot of Dawn. Pretty much Red Rock 6 Dawn. So yeah, it's pretty good still, like against everyone, but you will feel it more in mirror matches. I have 3 of them, but I'm only playing 2. 3 is an option, by the way, if you really like seeing him. I don't know, I felt 3 was somewhat bricky most of the time, so I'm playing him at 2. My strategy does not revolve around drawing him and putting him on the field to make sure I have a body on the field at all times. But if I see him, I'm very happy, so I'm trying to up my chances a little bit and not become bricky at the same time. So this is pretty much the most budget I believe you can go. Shariahs were not that expensive. So I'm sorry if there's anything, you guys can leave it in the comments so I'm not misleading newer players. If there's something that's going too much up on price. By the way, all the arts you're seeing here are alternate arts, unless it's Ain, Shashi and Beppo that don't have alternate arts. But the rest, yeah, everything is alternate arts. Raise Max and Firefist don't have it, so don't worry. If you're a new player and you're just looking at these arts and then you search it by the art and you're like, what the hell is going on? This is alternate arts, this is a folder I downloaded. So yeah, this was a very long deck profile explanation, but it's really needed for the sake of this video. But we are playing here with this deck list. We're playing 4 Queen, 4 Rages for the consistency, so we want to just cycle out as many cards as we can. So we see our pieces a little bit better. So yeah, let's get into the gameplay and see how this goes. Whatever the day is that I record as many matches as I can with this deck. So yeah, see you guys there. Okay, here are the gameplay matches. So I would like you to stay till the end of the 2 matches because I have some thoughts now that I've tried a bit more of this mine of decklist, budget decklist. So yeah, first of all, we are going against Red Purple Luffy. I'm only showing 2 games because I want to keep this video somewhat short, you know. This was more on deck building video than actual gameplay. I just wanted to show you guys some gameplay to show you how the deck feels. And Red Purple Luffy, yeah, Red Purple Luffy still is one of the most fun leaders to play. I would not mind to make a deck out of him. He plays Von Clay. Seeing people play Von Clay makes me wanna cry. But yeah, but he's a really nice deck, you know. I think it's a really good deck to still win the locals. So here I made just a 4k swing with Zoro. That's the best value I think you can have with him. I don't think attaching 2 Dawn to then swing and regenerate 1 Dawn is good. I think it's just better for you to swing and get the value out of him. And he's going to be a blocker because nobody can actually ignore him. That's why he's so good on OP07. I gotta admit, he's growing on me. So there you go, he just blocked AK swing, that's nice. And then we're just gonna... I am probably... Yeah, I'm just gonna counter out of this. So yeah. He's playing the dragons, this Red Purple Luffy, really interesting. And then he plays this Robin. I think it's... I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that Robin. I played her in my red-green law deck. And it just didn't have that much value, to be honest. It's good against like Rebecca's, but they're not that popular anymore, you know? they're not the most popular combo with Moria, for example. So yeah, but it's fine. Maybe there's some more tech that people know that I don't know. It's completely fine. Yeah, so here I just took his dragon and I'm just going to be drawing. Don't attack with it just yet. He had one Dawn up, I knew it's just Red Beam. So I'm just gonna try, I'm just gonna see what he did this turn and maybe go for a game next turn. Because if he played Dragon next turn, that he would need to... It would be a bit easier, you know, to go for a game. But he played 2 blockers, that's nice. He took out Newgate. Not gonna lie, Newgate is a... I think is a card that's going down in meta. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go... I make the swing now. He lets it go. I thought I would get the Red Beam. Or a 2k counter, to be honest. I know it looks like I'm playing very weird, but I have good board and I have good lives. I have 2 lives, it's fine. He makes a swing here for Kid and Killer, that's fine for me. I'm gonna counter out of this because I'm not gonna be able to counter out of the dragon. That's nice, and we got the Kid and Killer out of lives. So I'm just gonna test the waters here. Yeah. So he took 2 cards out of hand, so I'm like, okay, let's go for it. We can go for a game now. We have the Kid and Killer. He uses another 2 cards. He needs to Red Beam this. He blocks, whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. We won. Yeah, there is the Red Beam. And we could have gone 8k in case he had 2k here. So yeah. Next game is Monkey D. Dragon. Now, I really wanted to upload this game. It's the first time I'm seeing Dragon being played on the sim. Usually it's me playing Dragon, because I actually enjoy the deck. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine to play from time to time. I am still thinking about building him. If Red Purple Law is just extremely expensive. And again, my thoughts are coming at the end of the gameplay. Maybe I should just go for a dragon. I really want to move out from the red color. I want to kind of play purple. It's my favorite strategy. But yeah, let's go. Here I am looking around my lives. He plays this Nami. This player actually, I wasn't playing this Nami that lets you give Arrested Dawn. Because, I don't know, he felt that he didn't have that much value, but this guy actually taught me how much value the card can have. So we're making the Zorojuro swing. Yeah, I'm gonna make a 5. I really wanted to... Yeah, I really wanted to play the Kid. Yeah, we're just going up a little bit more on Dawn, that's fine. We have a blocker and we have a body. He's gonna have to swing into Zorojuro. Unless if he keeps like ignoring Zorojuro, Zorojuro just gets so much value. Again, I'm gonna repeat this. Zorojuro feels really nice. It's a good evolve? What the hell am I saying? It's a good evolution, you know. I used to hate the card, but now I'm really liking it. As well as playing this at 4 to actually see its most value, you know, because of the budget. It kind of grew on me. He didn't use the his Ivankov for some reason. I'm like, why? Let's draw more cards, and now we can exactly just keep getting value out of the Zorojuro, which is really nice. I'm gonna see how many lives he takes. He's pretty healthy on lives, but he's not that healthy on cards in hand. Those Namis are getting good value as well, like my Zorojuro, but I really prefer ignoring them and not give value to the Ivankov. He plays the first dragon. The reason I'm saying first dragon, I actually don't know if he plays one right after. It's just because most of the time people just start dropping dragons, with Dragon later, when they have the Dawn 2. So yeah, we are at 0 lives. I could have countered out of that. Maybe I should have countered out of the 7k swing. It was a misplay of me. Now I'm gonna go and just swing. He knows I can bottom deck the dragon. But he takes a 5k swing. Like, I was going to play the kid blocker, but he takes a 5k swing and it's at 1 life. And I still have 4 more swings. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not going to play the kid blocker. I can just go for a game because I have the kid in killer. Finally, I'm seeing kid in killer when I need it the most. And we just win. So yeah, it's GG. We were just bottom deck that dragon and just play the queen and swing. He had the Luffy, so he could, even if he played the kid blocker, he would just go past it. So yeah, it's nice. It was a nice game. I have a lot of fun against dragon, playing against it now that I first time played against it and playing with it. I think it's a very fun deck. But now let me just talk about a little bit about what I think about the budget deck list. Against these 2 matches, it did fine, you know. Against red, it's fine. But I would like to upload this dragon deck, the dragon match. But I would like to take away red purple Luffy match and just show you guys a Bonnie match. It's just I forgot to record some of the matches that I did with this deck list into Bonnie. Because here's the thing, I'm not gonna lie to you. You don't miss. I'm playing budget in AB01, you know, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Bond Clay, you don't miss out on Bond Clay in AB01 because it's a faster meta. You don't really miss it that much. Beppo does fine replacing it, but on OP07 with the new leaders and stuff, let me tell you, you really miss it. And Bonnie was just one of the matches that I missed it the most. Having that free ramp up and then having a really good swing late game. I really, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you really feel it, like you really feel it. And so, but when it comes to Zoro, it's actually very viable against mirror matches. Because Bond Clay pretty much is just a ramp up card in mirror matches. They just kind of bottom deck it. They always prioritize it because it's just a free bottom deck, so yeah. But with Zoro, they actually have to use a card from hand and decrease their power because they're not at 3k, they're at 4k. So Zoro gets so much value in mirror matches. But yeah, against many other matchups, Bonnie, NL, actually Dragon, I would not mind having that Bond Clay to swing, copying Dragon's power, obviously. And from time to time, Moria, it would really help. So yeah, on OP07, it's really hard to make this deck viable because Bond Clay, it's actually a very important piece. And I kind of was in denial. I was like, maybe it's not that needed. But in AB01, it's not that needed. But on OP07, it is. You feel a lot of the, a lot different, you know. So the last message I'm gonna say is, if you're going to be playing Red Purple Law at full power, because it's meta, or because you are like me, you start playing him early, or you're just going into the game and you just love the character Law, just like me, and you manage to play him at full power with the Bond Clays, I'm still hopeful that they'll go down in price. If they go down to like 14 euros, I'll just buy it, to be honest. But I just can't give the money they're asking right now. Please, if you're playing him at full power, have fun for me. And win for me. I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to play this deck at full power. I was so hopeful that I was finally, in my first time ever in my life, I was going to be playing a TCG that I love with a meta deck. I never got to play a full-on meta deck. In Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to play road decks. To be honest, Chimera, Illusion Chimera, in case you're into Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a really fun deck, and I only played it when it was considered rogue. I don't know if it's meta now or not, but it was when they got released, and they were a really good deck. And now, on a One Piece, I was playing Red Purple Law, you know, people didn't play this deck. He was good, but it was not the most OP deck, and now he is, and I was so looking forward to playing him at full power. And and I'm just not gonna be able to do it. It's just too expensive for me, and to be honest, even if I had a job and I was not in college, I don't know, I just don't have time for a part-time job, you know, and I even if I did, I don't think giving almost 50 euros for each copy is worth it for cardboard. I'm sorry, it's just my morals here, it's just the way I see it. So yeah, have fun with the deck, have fun for me, win for me. I'm all in for the red purple law supremacy, even if I'm not playing law, to be honest. I just love the character. So yeah, this was just me ranting a little bit and kind of saying goodbye to this leader. Sooner or later I know I'm gonna have to move on from him, although I love him a lot. So yeah, I always appreciate when you guys stay till the end of the video, you guys already know that. So thank you so much. Consider liking and subscribing if you did enjoy this video, and goodbye.